Hey guys, welcome to our review for Disney's newest Marvel show, What If? If you like these reviews, if you like some of these extra content things that we do, please consider supporting our show. Hit that links down below. Patreon directly supports this, allows us to do some of this extra stuff in our free time. And okay, so let's jump into the review. We're going to do a non-spoiler section here because not all of these episodes are out, and we got access to the first 3 episodes. We are going to talk about the first 3 episodes, the rest of the episodes in the spoiler section for those of you who don't want to have that spoiled. But we'll give you a general idea of whether What If is good enough or not, right? Should you go watch What If? And is it another hit for Marvel and Disney Plus? I will throw the question to Joe.
Me. I would say probably wait on this. I did enjoy it though. Like the first episode I did like, but I wouldn't subscribe just for this.
Okay. I hate you because I think it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
And it is a win for animation. And, DC kicks Marvel's ass all over the place with their animated movies. DC is far superior, still superior. And Marvel has some good animations from here and there, but these animations, they're like mini movies, and they are up to the quality that you see in DC. Making DC, I think DC needs to be a little worried because DC has had the monopoly on animations. Marvel on live actions, DC animations now with these great episodes. I think that hopefully DC gets their act together. Anyways, what did you think?
I really liked the first episode a lot, and this was a series that I wasn't super looking forward to. Like I'm kind of, we're hitting that palette fatigue with characters, right? Yeah. And I was worried that the story writing was going to feel like fan fiction and things were going to be kind of ridiculous and wouldn't have the quality that the movies did. Now, episode 1 was incredible. I think I liked it all the way through. It was great animation. It's a story that I really like. Now, 2 and 3, definitely a drop off from the first. I think they were very smart and they were very intentional to say that number 1 is going to be the big hitter to try to get you hooked. And I think there's a decline in quality between 2 and 3. Now, it doesn't feel exactly like fan fiction, but I don't think that this is up to the writing quality as some of the other stuff. So I think it's worth a watch, but
I love it, man. I think this is. Oh yeah. What about a subscription?
Oh, to start
Worth
a subscription? Not for this.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Not for this on its own. I mean, with all the other things, I think Disney Plus is a good deal.
Yeah. It does justice to the comics. I had a few of the comics. I remember I had this one in particular. What if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? I was like, whoa, this is good. And what if Daredevil, what if Spider-Man joined Fantastic Four? What if the world knew Daredevil was blind? All these different like cool little things. And they get to do that here. And so originally I thought these were going to kind of be self-contained episodes. And so far they kind of are. Mm-hmm. But I think it is moving towards, together. Moving towards assembling a new team of Avengers, right, within this particular universe. So this series kind of starts with the Watcher. Some of you may be familiar with this character. He basically
watches.
Guess what he does?
And he does nothing.
He's got a whole bunch of watches.
There's cool. There's Stan Lee stuff around him, and then the Watcher has gotten involved in the past, but it's cool to see because you can kind of go into different universes, and that's what this is. They talk about the branching timelines, the shattering of realms and things, and so you can have these what if scenarios. Well, what if Steve Rogers wasn't the one that got the serum? And in episode 1, we got this scenario where Agent Carter takes the serum. Yeah, a terrorist sort of interrupts things, and she is the one that actually becomes Captain America, but in her case, it's Captain Carter. And just great episode, like entertaining from start to finish. In my opinion, great voice acting, great animation. It reminds me, this kind of cel-shaded stuff a little bit reminds me of a comic book. Yeah. And it does really, really great on that. Great voice acting and just really cool setups that actually have a payoff. There's good action in here. It obviously follows the events of Captain America, the first Avenger, you know, the actual movie of Captain America. There's little beats in there that you can find. And, you know, it's about sort of the Nazis going after the Tesseract and Agent Carter going to defend. I did like how they didn't... I was like, well, does this mean that they're going to sideline Steve and all the focus is going to be on Carter? No, Steve has his own. This is, of course, Steve is a good heart and is a hero in his own right, and something happens there as well where Steve can still have his own story within this. Because those two characters are closely tied together. They're love interests, you know, Agent Carter and Steve. So they pay respect to the source material, and a new hero is born, and I thought it was picture perfect, great, you know.
She kicks so much ass.
Yeah, I want to see more of her.
God damn, she kicks ass, right? And I just love her moves, and you know, the story in general. There's moments of comedy. Yeah. There's moments of, you know, action and reflection on what it means to be a hero and stuff. And it just shows you that good people rise to the occasion, no matter who it may be, male, female, you know, or you know, anybody.
Were you shocked by the violence?
Yeah,
I was surprised how violent
it was. Captain Carter was killing mofos.
Yeah, explosion.
Look, she was knocking dudes out of planes.
Yeah, it's like those guys dead, broken knee, broken sternum, broken neck. It's like Jesus.
But it is war, and when is she? You know, because the original Captain America has him coming and saving his team. You see that team, you know, the Irish dude and Bucky Barnes. She does the same thing. And so the team helps her out as well. And they're coming in there with Thompson machine guns. But that's not rubber bullets, okay?
Oh, I know. But it was animated. Look, I love it. I love the violence. But I was shocked that in an animated thing, because you think, you know,
it's
Disney...
not that violent. Come on. We just saw Suicide Squad separately. That shit was
But that's rated R. Yeah, this is PG Disney. On Disney+. Mm-hmm.
Still, I think it's tame for Disney Plus. But I did appreciate the fact that they're not shying away. Yeah. They're not doing we punched Red Skull in the balls and then we put handcuffs on him and the police took him away. No, it's not that.
Just pop out. Whoa.
Yeah.
His mask falls off. If it weren't for you meddling kids.
Yes.
Yeah. He spits up the walnuts.
Oh, God.
Anyway, right, so it's not that. So anyways, great episode. What would you guys give the first episode?
For me, I really liked this one. I was full on board. She fucking kicked ass. I didn't expect the action and everything with her, and I like how it's a little tropey, but they had that
very tropey.
That general that's being a douchebag because it's 1920s.
Oh, I know, right? We do have to talk about that a little.
Yeah.
There's a colonel that hates that she's a girl. He thinks that she's fucking useless. It's so stupid. I think it goes a little too far. Stupid.
Does a little bit, but it's like
to like make fun of men hating women or something. But he's so stupid because he can clearly tell that she has fucking strength, and in the very next scene, she's like fucking destroying, you know, bags and things. And yet he's like, you have no place on the battlefield.
You're lucky to be in this
what?
room.
You're going to go break her down.
You're so stupid.
I was like, please, Carter, just fucking punch him.
They dialed it a little too much there where he's a sexist, but he's also a moron. If he was that sexist and that moron, like, I understand if he was that sexist, still get into a power position because the older times, you know, a lot of people were sexist. However, he's a fucking moron in battle plans. Like, this shit is going down. He's like, nah, we don't need to worry about it. We'll try to win the war before we need to worry about it. It's like, no, all right.
Yeah. I would probably give this an 8 for me. The first episode is an 8. It kind of reminded me, I don't know if you guys seen that movie, Scanner Darkly. Like the animation.
I haven't seen it. No. It's
the
Keanu
animation,
Reeves.
Yeah, it's kind of like that animation. I was like, hey, that kind of reminds me of that.
I hated that animation when it first came out, but I liked it here.
So So 8 for me.
I'm going to go with a 9. I think I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a good, tight story. You know, the story beats, voice acted well. And if it didn't have, I mean, there was a couple of writing things that, you know, we talk about the cartoon back. He was actually a cartoon, but like he was, it was even silly for a cartoon. But
we have Nick Fury's in it. We have actual voice actors voicing their roles. A few of them don't reprise their roles. As we get further in, we'll talk about those. But yeah, so one of them being Steve Rogers is not. I don't think he's voiced by Chris Evans. Yeah, that was one not voiced by.
It was close though.
Everybody did good enough and close enough. I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10 as well. I thought it was good, but you know, it's a retelling of kind of Captain America's movie, and that one wasn't my favorite. It was a good movie, and I liked it, and I like Agent Carter. I think she works perfectly as, you know, a Captain America.
Steroids.
Why do they give her a British, you know, she's not from, she is from Britain, but like the program is still a U.S. program, so to still give her all this British stuff, I was like, oh, wait, what? Like, okay, fine, I get it. We're honoring both the U.S. and the, you know, British, but they're kind of going full on British, but okay, it works still. And just an awesome montages of her destroying aircraft and winning the war and stuff, and then obviously the love story, the sadness of, you know, just their roles reversed where Agent Carter and Steve couldn't really be together. They were still waiting for that dance. All these elements are still in there in a new, fresh, interesting way, but still honest. Yeah, so very cool. 8 out of 10. Liked it. So that is our review of the first episode, a solid start to the What If series. I've seen stuff like zombies. I've seen some like Spider-Man. Sonny said, okay, you can use Spider-Man again. So real exciting stuff for that. Let's just go to episode 2. If you don't want to see it, then click off. Thank you so much for watching. But since we got access to 2 and 3, let's go ahead and talk about them now. So what was episode 2, Alex?
What if the Ravagers, when they show up to Earth and they're there to pick up Star-Lord, pick up the wrong guy?
Yeah. And also, let's talk a little bit about Watcher. So at the beginning of all these, it's being narrated by the Watcher. So he's definitely a part of the series in the intros and outros. And then it goes into the story. Star-Lord, you know, is essentially still Black Panther, but he has not yet gotten the Black Panther power, nor is he the king or anything like that. But they're looking for Peter Quill, and instead they pick up this guy. And I guess because this one, I don't understand why they're like, okay, let's go with this kid, right? Instead of Peter Quill, because they're like Celestial. He's a piece of a Celestial, so we're coming to get him. They pick up some random kid from Wakanda, and he's like, just because he shows interest in explorations, Andy's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, I was like, you're not even in the same region. Like, what's going on?
About that. Like, okay, but just other than that one little thing.
So you got
right. What if Xandu was like, fuck it, let's go. I don't want to do my mission or whatever. But really, really good. I enjoyed this one a lot. I actually enjoyed this one more than Carter. Okay, you have a different opinion.
Yes.
Cool. The reason why I enjoyed this one more is I guess I liked the Guardian of the Galaxy movie a little bit more than the First Avenger movie from Captain America. And this one has far more comedy. I really, really love the performance of, gosh, I don't remember the character's name, but he's like, who? Star-Lord, who? You know, that guy comes in. Everybody remembers that scene. Who? You know, well, you get that here, but you get a reverse of it. He is like a huge fan of Star-Lord. He's like begging to be on his team. He's like, we still got to fight, and they're fighting.
It would be an honor.
And it's an honor to fight you, and punches him, actually gets him hit. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, it's just this fun dynamic, and I just loved it. I thought that was a fun part of it. And in this episode, they do kind of a Guardians of the Galaxy heist. So it's a heist. I love heist stuff as well. Now, granted, the team is nowhere near as interesting as the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Sure, I see it faltering and failing in that aspect, but who is going to be as good as the original? A what-if story is not going to be better than the original. And I feel that is for the same... Actually, Captain Carter works really, really well. It can equal, and but this one, I see what y'all are saying. It's not quite. So, anyways, what did y'all feel?
This one was a huge step down for me.
Okay.
This one did fall into this felt kind of like weird fan fiction, and it just kept going bigger and bigger into the fan fiction type things where a new character would show up and you're like, why is this person here for no reason?
I like that shit. It's cheesy.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm liking it and y'all are not.
Yeah, it just kept going in this completely. I think episode 1, like you said, is really comparable and actually would work if they truly just swapped those two things. This would never work, in my opinion, as a movie. I think it's totally ridiculous, and there were parts that I like about the storytelling, and I love heist movies. This one just didn't have the super satisfying heist thing that I wanted, so it didn't satisfy on the storytelling elements. I didn't necessarily like some of the character decisions and the downplaying of other characters and bringing up certain other ones. So this one didn't really resonate with me.
Yeah, same with me. I wasn't interested as the first one all the way through. I liked this one. Kind of faltered in the middle. There's too many that pulled me out of the... I was watching it, it just pulled me out. I was like,
no, that would never happen.
Sense. Yeah. So I lost it. I was like...
So another moment, that would never happen. It turns out that Thanos is a part of the team because he was simply talked down. Really?
Yeah.
That there's two huge problems with this episode. Xandu just takes this random kid instead of worrying about Peter Quill. And then also, Thanos is just...
He's a good guy now.
He's good. He's just talked down. And now he's like a quirky good guy. These are stretches of logic that the thing, but you have.
I don't want to say, but yeah.
If I'm totally buying into the completely alternate universe, hey, this Thanos is different. He can actually be talked to. Maybe he's not as fervent as that particular Thanos. We've seen that with. I'm making a case for our new villain. The new villain in the main timeline, right? There's multiple versions of him across different things. There's a good version of him. There's a bad version of him. There's one that's more aggressive. There's one that's not. So it makes sense to me. It's alternate. I want as much alternate as I can. But they still have some commonalities. Drax is still funny. He's a bartender, in this one. And but I was hoping for a little more commonality. So I see where you guys are coming from. But I think the heist episode works, and we get, and even more so, there's these little, why are these here? Well, because it's the heist episode, and we're at the Collector, and if you remember, the Collector was a vault of fucking Easter eggs of shit that shouldn't be there. In fact, they had to fucking retroactively say, no, that wasn't the Infinity Gauntlet. This is the Infinity Gauntlet, and all these other things, right? Howard the Duck was there. Howard the Duck is here. And this time, I was yelling in the theater. I was like, Deuce, talk to him, get him out of there. And in this one, they talk to him and they get him out of there, So you get to do some of these kinds of things, and maybe, and then Taserface himself gets to do some. What's his name? Taserface.
Taserface.
Something, I don't know. He gets a little more to do, but of course he's not anywhere near as compelling as even Groot.
No,
he's not anywhere near as compelling as Rocket Raccoon. But. So cool alternate version, and I also really like the fact that Chadwick Boseman is actual voice of T'Challa here, and it is a sad reminder of his untimely death. But this is a character he loved playing, so it was really good to see him reprise that role again and that character again. And they even dedicate the episode to him at the end. So I thought that was nice. And there's a twist, because obviously if you know the relationship between Xandu and Peter Quill, they have that's the through line. They still have that relationship. It's unchanged between Xandu and his son, only this time it's T'Challa. So I liked it. And then we even get a little bit at the end of Peter Quill. So I'll stay away from spoilers. And we'll just go ahead and rate the episode now.
For me, it's going to be a 7. It was kind of just pulled me out, like I said. It pulled me out of the episode. I was like, well, that wouldn't make sense. But I see what they're going for. It's like, but those moments happen too often for me. that pulled me out, and just no, I couldn't do it. It felt too cartoony. Okay. Kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go lower than that. I think this was a 6. I think it's above average. I do like the comic thing. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a movie I didn't know that I needed in my life, and this one didn't live up to that storyline, and it just got crazy with it. I mean, like everyone in the entire galaxy just loves and listens to Star-Lord now, and he can talk down the Mad Titan, and he can do anything, and
that's what If is about.
Yeah, but
nobody knows Star-Lord in one universe. In the other universe, he's a fucking celebrity.
Yeah, and
come on, good.
No, I don't.
Okay,
I think
you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, I think it's so thoroughly like unbelievable that it's not close enough to the original where I'm appreciating it as a what if. This is crazy town. Like it is so wildly different that I can't even compare the two.
I liked it. I'm at a 9 out of 10 for this one. I thought it was more interesting of a watch than sticking extremely close to the Captain America: The First Avenger with just a gender swap, and adding an element in there with Steve. I actually like this one because it blended a lot of the different characters together. It still had some characters having their own unique traits, but then also carrying over, their thoughts. Again, we're in a what-if parallel universe. And the more wacky it gets, the more I like it. I think the more wacky it gets for y'all guys is like, this is a cartoon. This is a comic.
That's how I felt.
So anyways, 9 out of 10. They felt the story could work a little bit better or could be a little stronger. So what about episode 3? So when we go into episode 3, and this centers on, starts with Black Widow and Fury recruiting Iron Man. And... how can I do this one without spoilers? Crazy shit happens where there is an assassin who is targeting all of the candidates for the Avengers program. And there are shocking deaths. And this turns into a motherfucking murder mystery. I loved it. I was like, oh, my God, this is so involving. And we're trying to figure out who can do this. Is it Fury himself? Is he the bad guy? Is it one of the agents? What's his assistant lady? I forget her name. She's been in all the films. Like, is it her? Who is it? It could be anybody. And when it is fine, and because of these different things that are happening in the film and characters dying, things are completely changing. And there's invasions based on, getting revenge. Okay. Asgard invades Midgard due to one of the deaths. And, Loki presents himself. And we've got that kind of stuff in Avengers, right? Loki is a threat. Here, Loki is a threat. He's like, I'm here for revenge. And, Nick Fury has to figure out how to deal with all this. Not only all of his candidates being assassinated, but also, how to stop this invasion from Asgard. Super interesting. This one of the best, if not the best, so far. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I did like this one. Probably a little bit more than the other ones. I love the murder mystery, and you're trying to figure out who's doing it and whatnot. And the thing I loved about this one was, whatchamacallit, the Loki scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Loki.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. Yeah.
Yes, he killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this one much better than episode 2. This one, I thought the other ones were fine as short stories. This one, I think, actually suffered for the length. This is one that I wanted to see more fleshed out because I love murder mysteries.
You're right.
And there was too many things where they had to kind of resolve conveniently because they're like, we only have 30 minutes. Like, hey, guys, you don't only have 30 minutes. You can make these as long as you want, and I'll still watch it. Like, I'm not going to a movie theater. I'm watching it at home.
That's true.
So I wanted more from this one as far as length, but I like this one.
Yeah. So we could just do a quick one on here. I think it's leading towards, Nick Fury putting together a Avengers team, since obviously the assassin, shockingly, is successful with a lot of these assassinations. You'll have to watch it to figure out who. But he's going to need a new Avengers team. Is Fury going to assemble a new team in this particular alternate universe? Have all of these alternate universe episodes that we've seen happened in the same universe? And it's a single universe? I was hoping for self-contained stories so you could do some wild shit. You know, I know it sucks. I want the Wolverine kills Hulk. You know, I want to see that kind of stuff, but they're not going to do X-Men yet because they want to do a big, you know, reveal of the X-Men when they get to it, right? But I was hoping they'd be self-contained stories so that they could do whatever the fuck they wanted in each one. This, to me, this episode is the first episode where it looks like it's all in the same universe, maybe, and it's going to culminate into a new team and they'll solve a threat, I think. One thing does throw that off. We could talk about it in spoilers, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, a lot of people, you know, so the team is devastated. The members are depleted. And he's like, well, who do we have left? And he's like, there's an Avenger left. And if you'll remember the movies, there is one Avenger left that that not a lot of people knew about, and they kind of retroactively threw in there via a beeper. So you'll know that. So at the end, you see.
What if had been David Hasselhoff as Fury, going back to the
that would
dark
have been
days?
Fucking awesome, man. I hope they do something like that in the future, because they've already announced. So that's episode 3. Let's get a rating.
I'm torn between an 8 or a 9 because I did like the murder mystery. I was trying to piece it together, and then once you find out who the murderer is, you're like, oh, I forgot. Like, what?
Yeah, you have to really be in tune with those movies and to understand the motivation of the assassin. I kind of got lost, too. I was like, fuck, do I need to rewatch the movies?
I was like, who was it?
So, but did that elevate it or lower it for you?
No, I think it elevated it for me. I'm going to give this one a 9. I did enjoy it.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go with a 7. It kind of lowered it for me. It did the kind of the murder mystery trope where at the very last minute they reveal a piece of information. At the very, but in minute 29, they tell you a name. They literally tell you a name. Yeah. And there was no clues leading up to that up until that point. And they're like, this is the bad guy. And I'm like, oh.
You want the crumbs.
You want crumbs. There were no crumbs until there.
Okay,
and so,
I can see that.
Still enjoyable, but.
I was going to give it a 9. But I do kind of like crumbs. I'm going to stick with my 9 because I think this is was my favorite episode of the 3 so far. Well. So 9 out of 10 for episode 3 for me. And I'm based upon these first 3 episodes, 8, 9, 9. I'm like, oh my God, do we have another success here? Are these last episodes going to completely drop off? But I think Marvel has been killing it. Kevin Feige, all these creative writers and directors who are behind these individual series have just been doing a great job. And they're really holding up Disney when Disney is fucking up right now, not doing too well, not being a company that you want to work for. So let's talk about it. We are in episode 3. It does center around Black Widow. That's not Scarlett Johansson. Hell no. Scarlett Johansson is in a legal dispute right, with Disney. And honestly, I fucking side with Scarlett Johansson in this. If they told her, look, we're not going to do a release on digital. This is going to go in theaters. And then they say, if we later amend it, we will talk to you again and
work something out.
Work something out in your contract. She has that email. There's the actual quote there. And they fucking don't do that, And she's like, hey, what the hell? And she said her representation said, we tried several times to get a hold of Disney to get this corrected. And there's nothing she could do. So it's like, all right, fuck you guys. It's time to get my money, And then Disney response was so fucked up. Did you see their response?
They're fucking assholes.
They were basically like, how dare Scarlett Johansson be so callous during the pandemic? They completely sidetracked and tried to make it about COVID. It's like, what? You guys are the ones that are opening your parks right now with the blatant disregard for COVID, and you're going to say Scarlett Johansson is showing disregard for the COVID.
What a jerk.
I know. And they also leaked her salary, thinking that people would side with Disney. How dare an actress make that much money? $20 million was her paycheck. It's like, dude, you remember, Jim Carrey at his height was making fucking money. Samuel Jackson, one of the most prolific actors, making that money. Rock. And she's not done one project for Disney. She's done like 9 projects for Disney and has helped them make their billions of dollars. And for them to just throw that out there, which is so transparent, so see-through to try to deflect with the COVID-19. And then to leak her fucking salary to try to get public opinion on their side, I think it completely backfired in their face. And I'm glad that it did. And fuck Disney for that. And I hope she wins.
Emma Stone followed suit.
Yeah, yeah. And
same thing.
For one thing, right, because, that was WB also made the same mistake with the HBO Max, but then they realized, oh, fuck, we got to go and negotiate with these individual people. So, they talked with Emma Stone for A Quiet Place 2, or Emma. Yeah,
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, not Emma Stone. Yes, right. You're
Cruella.
right. You're right, Joe. So that's a completely different one. Cruella, she is
Butler
considering
is people.
She's considering suing, and I think that she should if she had something similar in her contract, where they're doing these simultaneous releases, because it's shown that if you're doing these simultaneous releases, people will stay home, and it hurts the theater sales. And so they were just
Suicide Squad did terribly this weekend.
That's what I was going to get to.
$26 million.
Guys, really go out and see Suicide Squad. It deserves to be seen in theaters. It deserves to do better than it's doing. And that's because also they had that HBO Max thing where we're doing simultaneous releases. And so I think it does take away from the number a little bit. Anyways, so I just wanted to make a little note on episode 3 since it has Scarlett Johansson. It does not have Scarlett Johansson.
They've been doing that for 60 years, though. Yep. I mean, Return of the Jedi's never made a penny. Ever.
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit.
Officially.
They fucked the Darth Vader. They were the
Prowse.
Prowse. They fucked over Prowse. They even fucked up recent Star Wars novelists when the merger between
I thought the writing did that.
Yeah, no, Disney did not pay. Okay, there you go. The writers, Kathleen Kennedy and Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, so Disney's being a fucking dick, and they need to cut the shit out or get a pay up because I think that strategically they're like, we're so fucking hot right now, everybody's gonna side with us regardless. No,
nope.
They fucked
I'm
up
so
with
glad
the COVID.
that she's going after them.
They fucked up with the leaking her salary and stuff. So. Yeah, really bad form. The executives that took over for Bob Iger and some of this old guard that are now retiring and moving on, that's not good. Nope. But this is a battle. They think, you know what? We'll take the bad publicity now so that we can control the shit on content. They're playing the long game. They're like, in the future, there's only going to be 4 streaming platforms, and we fucking control it. Your salary is going to be what we fucking say it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They want control. They're finding a way to try to get out from under celebrities and some of these crazy, salaries and contracts. Yeah. So we'll see. Anyways, that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I think What If is a great alternative universe series to this, and to see this kind of stuff done well, then watch it. We'll go into the spoilers now for each one of those episodes, pick out some interesting details in case you're interested. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.